The U.S. government is taking aim at the engine of Google's immense wealth, its extremely lucrative ad tech business. A trial beginning on Monday will hear the Department of Justice's case that the search engine's parent company Alphabet illegally operates a monopoly in the market. The company earned more than $200 billion, £152 billion, last year through the placing and selling of ads seen by Internet users. Alphabet has argued its success is due to the effectiveness of its services, but prosecutors say it has used its market dominance to stifle rivals. It is a really important industry that grabs billions of consumer dollars every year, said Laura Phillips Sawyer, a professor at the University of Georgia School of Law. I think all consumers have an interest in this litigation. It is the second major antitrust case the tech giant has faced in the U.S. In August, a judge ruled its dominance of search was illegal, with the penalties Google and Alphabet will face as a result of that decision so far unclear. The courtroom was filled with a palpable tension as the Department of Justice, DOJ, and Google prepared to square off in what promised to be a landmark antitrust case. The DOJ, allied with a coalition of states, had filed a lawsuit in 2023 alleging that Google dominated the digital ad marketplace and used its market power to stifle innovation and competition. This trial was expected to be a pivotal moment in the ongoing debate over big tech and its role in the economy. Judge Leonie Brinkema, a seasoned jurist known for her incisive questioning, would preside over the case. Both sides were ready to present their arguments, and all eyes were on the courtroom. The stakes were incredibly high for Google. Just a month earlier, in a separate case concerning their online search business, Judge Amit Mehta had ruled against them. In his scathing decision, he declared that Google had acted illegally to squash competition, calling the company a monopolist. Now, the DOJ was extending its scrutiny to Google's control over the digital ad market. In their opening statements, the DOJ painted a picture of a corporate giant using its dominance not just to outcompete rivals, but to ensure no one else could thrive. They argued that Google's acquisitions and business practices were strategically designed to corner the market, citing internal emails and documents that, they claimed, showed executives plotting ways to suppress competition. Google's legal team, however, had a different narrative. In a blog post responding to the DOJ's lawsuit, Google contended that it was merely one of several hundred companies helping to facilitate the placement of digital ads. They argued that the digital ad space was more competitive than ever, pointing to rising ad revenues and market growth for companies like Apple, Amazon, and TikTok as evidence. Google's attorneys plan to emphasize these points, casting the company as a facilitator of a vibrant, competitive market rather than a suppressor of it. Judge Brinkema listened intently, her expression revealing little. During last year's trial, Google argued that it dominated online search because it had a better product. The company is seemingly deploying a similar defense in the ad tech case. When asked for a statement, it referred the BBC to its 2023 blog post, in which it stated, "No one is forced to use our advertising technologies. They choose to use them because they're effective." Judge Mehta held a status conference on Friday as he began the process of deciding on remedies for Google's conduct. The DOJ clearly had a big win, and they're going to ride that momentum, Dan Ives, managing director at Wedbush Securities, told the BBC. He said he expects those remedies to involve business model tweaks, not a breakup of the company. Meanwhile, in Justice Brinkema's courtroom, the arcane process that governs advertising technology could make the DOJ's attempts to prove its case an uphill climb. "We all use search. We all intuitively understand that product," said Rebecca Allensworth, an antitrust professor at Vanderbilt University Law School. By comparison, advertising technology is so complex that I think that's going to be a real challenge for the government to make a clear, simple monopolization argument here. The US is not the only country where regulators are unhappy with Google's ad tech business. On Friday, the UK Competition and Markets Authority said it believed Google was abusing its dominance in the ad tech industry, according to the findings of its initial investigation. It said it found that Google used anti-competitive practices to dominate the market for online advertising technology, and the potentially unlawful behavior could be harming thousands of UK publishers and advertisers. A Google representative said the decision was based on a flawed understanding of the ad tech sector.